Let me speak to that person that feels like they lost. They work to devalue. This is the dollar bill now. If I go to the store and there's something for 90 cents, cannot buy it with this dollar bill. So if I go to the store and there's something for 85 cents, and after tax it ends up being 96 cents, cannot buy with this dollar bill. So what is eyeball the dollar bill? Oh, think about it now, like I just bought it down Nabila, so we can't be worth $1 now, it's probably worth like 95 cents, right? How much you think it's worth? I download this is, y'all gotta pay attention. I just balled it up so clearly. It's not worth the doll anymore. So maybe what if I step on it? What if I stop it? I just stopped it. How much is the worth now? Maybe 65 cents? 68 cents? It's still worth $1, okay? What if I bought it up, buy stuff on it, and I put it in the trash can? And they see here with some trash. And it's around some beer and some gum and a bunch of other nasty stuff. And some guy off the street pulls the dollar. I'll unfold it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 82 cents. And me, come on. At least 92 cents. It's okay. So what about both of them? What if I step on it? What if I put it in trash and then cross this out? Tearing a half, think about it now, right? How much is the work? Now $1. I could tape it. What, boys? Swimming with it. Wait a second. I just balled it up. I just stepped on it. I put it in trash. I pulled it out. Then I tore in a hand, and you mean to tell me I could pick the dollar up, I could wipe it off, and I could put some tape around it, and it's still worth $1. Then why, if this dollar doesn't lose its worth, there was value? Then why do you feel like you lost? You person value. Because many of you feel like you just stepped on. You feel like you've been pushed aside. You feel like you've been abandoned. You feel like you can talk about. You feel like you've been abused, like someone took from you. Someone hurts you. Somebody took advantage of you and beat down the side record. You feel like you've lost some of your value. It's that this dollar just has words and value, because there are some in years ago will put value or with a slide. It says no matter what happens to it, they can still be taped back together. It gets to be wiped off, and I need to tell you that you were created. You're pulling your ear, and you have life, and you have purpose, if you have value. And don't you throw through some archons, and though you've experiencing some depression, and you might be one that hurts, your love, you might want to give up. I am here to tell you, still not worth the value, and there was nothing that could happen that could take your worth and your value away. So what you got to do now? You got to pick yourself off. We've got to dust yourself off, and you got to keep moving.
So many people out there fail, not because they don't have the ability. It's because they don't have the heart to go through adversity. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently. If you let it, you'll go through some failures. When you're in that darkness, you want to sit there and wait for the light to come. But you can't wait. The only way out is to step forward, to face your fears, to become your own light. There's going to be a lot of times y'all about to fail. We are all a work in progress. But in that moment, I want you to remember the power of you. You will change the world, even when you're struggling. Even when you're discouraged, and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on yourself. The indomitable will, if you have a belief, you can do something. The only way you grow that, like in the gym, you grow your muscles by actually exercise him to grow. The individual will to become something. You must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. They're the only one that moves that needle of life. Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser. You must break society. Status quo. Status quo is normality. It's alive but not living. It's death. Wanna stick, guys? Belief of the individual overrides thousands of people with just in 10 safety comfort zones or dead zones. We have to continue to push yourself because your true potential will never be matched, guys. Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward now. If you know what you're worth, I'm glad I tell what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the heads, the future rewards. Those who press on with patience and firm determination and the press off. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. We've got work to do. What's your why? What motivates you? What pushes you? What drives you? And if that bidding is returnable, if nobody has to call you, if nobody has to prod you, and nobody has to reward you, and nobody has to give you anything, if you are self-motivated and sound-regulated, you can have it. You can do it. Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Take ownership of everything in your world. So good in the back. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future. Ownership of your life to victory possible. You can live your dream. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to, and you'll work with the system, that you have the vision, and never give up, that you become creative and relentless, and keep on coming back again and again and again, and that it's you, that you gotta take personal responsibility to make it happen, and that it's hard, easy is not an option. When life knocks you down, jump back up the chat, it's not over until I win.
For somebody going through tough times. So somebody struggling just to keep your head above wall. You're trying, but they don't seem to be quite working out the way you planned. You thought you'd be in a different place than this season in your life, but you're still suffering. You have no say-so. And what happens to you but you have a say-so? And what you do about you have a determining voice into where your life can go. If your life is 10% what happens to you, it's 90% what you do about. You get a setback, you get thrown off course, you lost your mama that's dead. But show me something that has grown into something beautiful, that didn't have no dirt. Only you need dirt on you to develop, because dirt ain't just dirt. Dirt is fertilized. There is new tree. Dirt gives you the strip for your seed to push through. You gotta have dirt on you to push through something. Everything you see this beautiful starts out as a seed, but that seed got to get dirt on. You gotta have dirt on you to grow into what life got for you. The only thing I want from you is to every single day will none serve me. Preach said, I need you to get up, and I need you to go happy on it. In the midst of opposition, in the list of challenges, in the midst of that first thing, when you taste a little bit of blood, something happens that you didn't expect to happen. I need you to go at me on it. You gotta be willing to go after whatever is got. So name on, sometimes you gotta fight your way over. Sometimes you gotta fight your way through. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, listen, covered us right now. It's just me and you. But I'll tell you the other hand, my children, my husband, 3 satellite your whole life. You can't be packing up, I just can't taking 2 steps forward, and 3 steps back after a while. We can all set use to throw a witness. Has to use to throw useless room pressures that you stood through characteristically. That's what defines our test in the middle of transitions. People have this reoccurring nightmare that there's something, some force that's got a hold of them, and it's holding them down, and they can't break free no matter what they do. They can't breathe free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing, is you. There are 2 fundamental attitudes toward life, and it's sorrows, those with the first attitude, blaming the world, those with the second as what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery. You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put your stuff on funny. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. You know, we work it out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something every day. I demand more for myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else, one computer, one capable of my number, one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You've got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you. I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it. There is no excuse but not living up to your full potential. Norsky, you walk out of this room. All yourself. I didn't get here making excuses but change. I changed and I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm gonna cry. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power, every single day, to become a victor.